Oh my God. So welcome to the very first little bit of the Ningaloo Coast, and strike me pink. So we're at Stephen's camp here, which is pretty much the very first camp up from we did it the whole episode. Warroora Station. I'll say that differently every time. And look at this. So this is our camp here, just getting a fire ready. It is like, so if you're coming into Stephen's, the numbering of the campsite's all a bit weird. It's camp 3, camp 2, camp 1. They're all really spaced out, tons of room, big rigs. And then over on the farther end are all the rest of the camps, and they're a bit closer together. So if you're booking online, I reckon go for the low numbers. But anyway, you're protected by the dunes. So there's like pretty much no wind down there. So it'll be campfires every night, assuming you don't run out of wood. And then you come over the dunes here and oh yes. So you can see the waves breaking along the reef over there. And then all in there is just reef, lagoon, paradise. And the boys are just playing around it. Now, that being said, the campsites further down that end, they are closer to the beach. So, I think they're close to the surf breaks as well. So, depending on what you want out of the experience, but man, this is magic. Look, beach, white sand, and then you come around and you've got that that red hue on the dunes, and our campsite down there. Like, this is just next level, you know, absolutely next level. It is gorgeous, and I bought a spear gun. So my fishing quest continues, but after that cod at bloody Red Bluff, I thought, nah, that's it. And I went out today and dropped like $5,000 on a spear gun, which Tanya was super impressed about. She gave me a $100 limit. Oh, you can't buy a spear gun. Anyway, we won't go into that. But so now I officially have to catch $500 worth of fish while we travel up Ningaloo. Now you can't spear. So when you are here, there's only certain fish you can spear. So you can't spear cods, you can't spear gropers or anything like that. So just leave them alone. But you know, you got spangles, you got there's heaps of other stuff you can spear, good eating fish. So just look it up, check the signs when you come in. It'll tell you what you can and you can't do, but you can fish for everything. So between the throw net, the spear gun and the fishing rods, something's got to work. Fingers crossed. Anyway, we're going to get a fire, cook up some dinner, have a sleep, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
Nothing beats a freshly shucked oyster off the rocks.
They're small, but man, they just pack up just a punch of flavour. So yeah, just cruising along, not fishing, but eating oysters. It's delicious. All right, good start to the day. First cast, and we've got I have to look at it. A yellowfish. I just went out there for a bit of a snorkel, and I was gonna come in and say to Tans, there's heaps of yellowfish right here, but the time I put my head up, she was already reeling one of them in. There's quite a few Emperor's out there as well, blue line, so it's only early on. So hopefully just where this cover is here, in amongst this bit here, I'm going to drop a burley trail and see if we can actually get on it. So it is official. This here, well, there's actually two bits. There's one bit there and one bit there. This is the last piece of wood that we brought with us when we left Victoria more than 6 months ago. So we filled up the wood box in the back of the van with this whole like epic concept of having heaps of fires and rah rah rah. And then obviously you couldn't have fires anywhere. And so now it's finally ticked over into May. You can have fires everywhere again. And yeah, which has meant we've got to burn through the rest of our wood. So what you see there is the last remnants of our wood. Now the red stuff, which I think is ironbark, that was from a Scottish guy that we met at Sandy Cape that we helped out because he was bogged. So he gave us a bunch of wood because we couldn't have fires. And that other one there, that one log that I found buried right down the bottom of the wood box, that's out of the wood box from back home in Victoria. So, end of an era, but it's going to a very, very, very worthy cause because it's going to help cook that unbelievably delicious looking chook that's on the rotisserie there. So, yeah, very nice. I'm glad. It's gone to a good place. And yeah, look, today, not really doing much at all. It's gorgeous weather. We'll probably head down the beach later on. We figured we might pick up some homeschooling because we've probably missed a few days of late. So Tarns is in there with Eli, and I should be out here helping Charlie, which I have been doing. So we're going to get back onto it and just sit out here in the sun watching the chook roast and do some schooling, which, you know, I wouldn't mind this when I was at school. Kick it back on the beach. Well, not really on the beach, but anyway, yeah, relaxing, loving it. Oh, really? Oh, it's weed. Oh man, I ran back here for that.
There was a fish there.
Wow.
It struck, and it struck again, and I hooked it, and it kicked, and then it wasn't there.
Well, it's a nice sunset, but that was a fail.
That was exciting for a minute.
I have to run back. Alright, I'll be back. And as fast as we get here, we're packing up again. So, wouldn't have thought 4 days had passed, but didn't really get a lot of footage because we've just been doing nothing. We've just been kicking back around the fire, snorkelling, lazing around on the beach. So yes, I think as I've previously mentioned, we're going to go for an epic journey now to the next campsite, which is about 3 kilometres up the road. We pretty much walked there the other day. So Ells Beach is where we're going next. And yeah, we're just going to drive back, empty the canister, drop our rubbish off, and we're going to go fishing, of course, and head to Ells Beach, which is the next one along this coast. So Ells Beach.
As you walk down so many different changing roads, may the sunlight follow you wherever you go. May the laughter greet you like a morning song. And where you lay your head, may it feel like home.
And within a blink of an eye, here we are. Ells Beach. It's a bit choppy. Check out this for a $1 million view. So yeah, we're literally like a couple of k's up the road. We kind of have to go out and back again. Is Ells Beach. So it's a bit quieter down in there. But as you can see, like the massive waves coming in. So yeah, just gonna have some lunch and then go for a bit of explore. We might check out Maggies as well. We're not booked in at Maggies, but we might go check that out and just have a bit of a cruise around. Apparently the weather's gonna turn. They're expecting like 30 or 40 mils of rain in a couple of days time, so that's gonna be fun with a 7-ton van in here on sand. But you know, mi casa su casa. Tanya has successfully opened the account with a dart
Woo!
fish.
It's a dart.
Good eating. Nice work.
Can you take a picture of me?
I can. So we've just come down for a fish because we saw heaps of fish swimming around on the outgoing tide. So Tanya's got 2, I've got 0, which is kind of typical. But oh well, that's a neater. Chalk one up. On the darts, bruv. Going well. He has demolished that. He has absolutely demolished it. Good little eating. Cool little fish.
Be by your side.
It's a super farting hippo.
So fishing today was pretty good. We got like 2 meals worth, I think. So I filleted a heap and we've got 2 in the oven cooking, which should be enough. Heaps of darts. We still had that big spangle from yesterday, day before yesterday. I can't remember, but we got plenty of fish. But tonight is supposed to be a super duper red blood moon. Something. It's supposed to be a really cool blood moon. So lunar and a lunar eclipse. So boom shakalaka. Getting that on the tripod. Gonna see if we can get some shots. The eclipse is at like 2 o'clock. So I'm either gonna show you some awesome B-roll of the eclipse, or we're gonna slip through it and I'll look at some other people's awesome B-roll of the eclipse on YouTube later on when I get internet. We're probably not gonna wake up. But either way, I'm gonna try and get some shots out there because the moon, you can see like a red tinge of it now because I think it's full tonight. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get some shots. Again, like we spent most of the day just hanging out on the beach fishing, so it feels like we're not doing lots because usually we're just sort of out and about and we're going exploring and we're going adventuring, but sort of up this coast there's nothing to do except for snorkel on amazing reefs and catch fish and relax on like postcard beaches. So, you know, yeah. So, yeah, who wants to see that? we'll just enjoy it. Anyway, maybe a blood moon. Otherwise, tomorrow morning. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're up. The main reason we're up is because at about 1 o'clock, Toby decided he wanted to be sick and vomit. So luckily not in the van. We caught it in a bucket. So, but the moon looks like it's about to have its eclipse. So we're going to get some shots, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular actually. So I'll see if I can get some shots up for you. Another morning, another beach. Check this out.
Just went flat.
The other GoPro just went flat, yes. Good morning, family. Hello, family.
Hello. And you have a red moon tonight.
Oh, it was a red moon last night. So we got up at 2 o'clock to watch the moon.
And deal with vomiting.
And deal with a child vomiting, which is always fun. And we did what many people that come from the eastern states into WA do. And that's not realise that 2 o'clock was Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we missed the eclipse by 2 hours. But we're up at 2 o'clock in the morning nonetheless. So we did take some photos of the moon and it was beautiful. And then we had a really cruddy night. But we did get to watch the moon set right there. So we tried to get some photos of it, but they didn't come out very well. And so today we're just going to explore again. Maybe we'll go check out Maggies Beach. Maybe do some fishing. Maybe do some swimming. Maybe do some snorkelling. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. So we're only here for today and we're heading out tomorrow. Too rainy. It's not raining out there now. Looks beautiful out there now.
A bit wavy.
A little bit. So anyway, let's have some brekkie. Check it out. Check it out, sun. Oh, look at that. Looks gorgeous. Looks gorgeous. Anyway, breakfast. Get a load of this, huh? It's pretty cool. So, just up from Ells Beach is Maggies. This one, I don't. Well, you probably get a fan in here if you tried. Probably be worth it too because the spots are amazing. But the snorkeling out there is just gorgeous.
Not down that hill. You have to drive over that sand dune.
It'd be tricky. It'd be tricky. But it is a beautiful spot. So we're just going to chill out here, have some fish fingers with some beer batter, and enjoy the sunset. And interestingly enough, it turns out the eclipse is tonight, not last night. So we've had very little sleep. But also, it's turtle hatching season, so we're going to go check out some turtles, or see if we can see some turtles hatching, and hopefully see the eclipse take two. So, anyway, look at this. So I'm generally not a cooking video kind of guy, generally because I kind of suck at it. And Tanya's the chef out of the two of us. But anyway, give it a go. Flour, salt and pepper, easy peasy. Egg. Where'd you put the eggs, Tans?
Does it smell good?
In the fridge bag.
Now, before I do anything wrong here, are there any recommendations you want to give me before I start?
Nope. Other than I would have put the liquids and the egg together first. But
No, that'll be fine.
just
2
one
eggs?
egg.
Just 1 egg?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright. And some beer?
And when you tip the beer into that, it's going to froth like hell with the egg.
Do it. I want to see it froth.
So I'm going for some XPA, extra pale ale, smooth tropical extra pale ale. So it's got a bit of a should have a bit of zest to it.
There.
I'll spray the child with beer.
Make
go.
it fizz. It's not fizzing.
Alright, we'll start with that, eh?
It's not fizzing.
Nope, I know what I've
fizzing.
invented. I've invented beer glue. It needs more.
Beer volcanoes.
Beer volcanoes, beer glue.
That just look like glue.
Alright, check that out, eh? Doesn't that look enticing? So, in true amateur fashion, the GoPro ran out of batteries. But anyway, I'll pick up where I think I left off. What's powering this? This is an induction cooktop, 2000 watts, 240 amp hours of lithium in the car, a Red Arc Battery Manager 30, manages all the power. This is currently on, it's pulling about 100 amps. There's a 2000 watt inverter. It's a PowerTech inverter, I think. I read the reviews on them, they seem to be okay. And it's pulling about 100 amps. So technically this would run for about 2 hours before flattening the battery. Use it for about half and it'll fully jet charged up again tomorrow. Beer batter is done and dusted. I've just chucked it all in here and it's looking pretty good. So now, let's cook. And here we are. Not bad, eh? So that took probably about half an hour, maybe more, and knocked 25% off the batteries. So we've got to drive for about an hour or so tomorrow. So that'll put, well, that'll pretty much top it back up again, that with the solar. So stuck in. That is a wrap on the southern campsites of Warroora Station. So just to recap, we had first one Stevens. So you come into the station if you're coming in from the south. First one Stevens. Now that road is sometimes closed. You have to come and go all the way up to Coral Bay and then come back in the long way. But the roads were open, so we came in just after little free camps across the river, off the main highway, come into the main station, and then the first camp you hit is Stevens. Now, there's those three sections to the camp that I've already spoken about. Our preference was the 1, 2 and 3, which is the ones on the far right behind the dunes. They're about 100 metres walk to the beach. If you want to be close to the beach, the higher the number. Yeah, so the higher the number of the campsite at Stevens, the closer to the beach you will be, but the smaller the campsites get and the more on top of each other the campsites get. Space, low numbers. Beach, small campsites, high numbers. So that's Stevens. Then you come to Ells, which is where we are right now. Really beautiful spot, very spaced out campsites, running all the way along the beach. Can't spearfish here, can't launch a boat. Same with Stevens, can't really launch a boat very easily. But beautiful nonetheless, pretty good snorkelling here, pretty good snorkelling at Stevens as well. Beach access, as you can see, it's like, I don't know, 20 metres away. Not great swimming, so this is where the reef is the closest to of all of these southern campsites, pretty much all of the station actually. So you get breakers coming right up to the beach. Beautiful little lagoon down there, good swimming, nice little channel that runs in there for the kids. So if you wanted to be close to the channel, I reckon the pick of the sites here is probably the higher numbers because they're closer to the nicer water. Reef in there is beautiful. Not great snorkeling because of the waves, but it depends on the day. So out there you'd be all right, but then earlier on it wasn't as good. Next one up is Maggies, and that's where we were yesterday, and that is, in my opinion, the pick of the bunch. However, it'd be really tricky getting a van into that. There's this one sand dune that I reckon you could probably do it, but it's tricky. So we did see a little van down there. I reckon if you had a 2-axle, you'd be fine. If you've got dual axle, then probably a bit heavy, and you're probably going to wreck the road when you try and go up. But Maggies, sheltered, amazing swimming. You can launch a boat, amazing fishing, and amazing snorkeling. So we will probably try and get Maggies again sometime, and probably try and get the van in there. We'll see how we go. It says on Wiki, it says no vans though. So yeah, and so that's the southern beaches. Obviously they all cost the same. There's hosts at everyone, supposed to be hosts at all of them. There was no host at Maggies and no host at Stevens. There was only a host here. You're going to be here for the next 3 months, but obviously you still got to book online and everything. Haven't seen a ranger. Yeah, and so now we are going to head about it's about 25 minutes by car, about 45 minutes with the van on because it's a bumpy road, up to 14 Mile, and that's the northern campsites of the station. And so much better snorkeling, a bit more protected. The reef's a lot further out, but the weather's gonna turn on us. I think we're about to cop rain for the next couple of days, so I don't know if 14 Mile is going to be the bliss that we were hoping for. But look, you never know. So we're going to head off in a couple of minutes, and we will see you at 14 Mile. And here we are. So there's a couple of different spots you can stay at 14 Mile. There's ones on the beach and there's ones up the back here. Now we're up the back, massive side, number 32. You find all the high numbers again up against the dune, lower numbers out on the beach. Now we did, when I booked this, I just wasn't sure about driving the van on the beach. In hindsight, I probably would have gone for one of the beach spots. But I didn't know what the van was going to be like on sand, and I hadn't really done a lot of sand driving, so I went for caution. I did actually call Quabba and I said, you know, we're 7 tonnes, what do you think? And he ummed and ahed about the beach. So in my inexperience, we booked out here, and we have got friends, we know people that have been bogged on the beach with their vans, and that's just single axles and whatnot. So we'll go down and check it out. I haven't been down there and had a good look yet, but the weather's probably going to roll in soonish, so we're going to make the most of the next few hours, because then it's probably going to get a bit on the wet side. Now that being said, there's supposed to be thunderstorms, so we could get some epic thunderstorms over the ocean, or we could just be stuck in the van watching movies while it rains. Not sure, but we will absolutely see. Yeah, so 40 Mile, it's like probably 25-30 minutes up the road from where we were. There's dump point, there's bins. You have to be self-contained like everything along here. If you don't have your own loo, then you know, it's no good. That being said, it's one of the first places in WA where there isn't toilet paper everywhere. So they're obviously doing something right. I mean, Western Australian Parks and Wildlife, they booted the original owners off all of these stations. So all of these stations, they were on a 100-year lease, and so they were used as big sheep farms, goat farms, all that kind of stuff. And what happened, because the government said, oh, well, we don't want to be farmers, and when the 100-year lease came up, which was quite recently, they looked at all of these sites along here, and they kind of went, well, you don't actually have any sheep or cattle or anything like that anymore. You're just making a whole lot of money out of tourists. And so the government went, hang on, we know how to make money out of tourists. No lease renewed for you, which is kind of a good thing, because what they did is they've blocked off all of the little goat tracks that go off everywhere where people were ripping up the dunes and ripping up the vegetation, and they've put in dump points where they didn't have dump points before. They've cleaned the place up, so they've really, you know, they're turning it more into a park now than a station, whereas the previous sort of leasees, I'm not pointing fingers or anything like that, but probably were a bit more focused on just getting the tourist buck in rather than it being something a bit more, I've just noticed all these little stone chips in the van. Look at that, I don't know if you can see them in the light. Oh, these little stone hits. I probably should get a stone stomper at some stage, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, 40 Mile, let's go explore. So, this was supposed to be a rainy day. The map said that it was going to be 20 mils of rain. And have a look at this. So we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. So we got up this morning thinking, like, we looked outside at the weather and just said, oh my God, it's still sunny out there. We better make the most of it before the rain comes in.
Oh,
Sugar. Tans has just spilled baked beans everywhere.
eggs.
Oh, what are the eggs too? Oh no, take my eyes. Not one of the eggs. But anyway. First world problems, right? Just made a mess too. Yeah, so I got up early, went fishing to make the most of the day. and the day just remained glorious. And so we went back out to Turtle Rock. So instead of fishing on the beach like we did yesterday and had a complete duster, we fished off the rock with some floats, and we're really successful. So I got a feed for tonight. So beer battered fish again for dinner tonight with some chippies, which would be good. And Tans got busted off once, and I got busted off once because, again, like always, we took knives to a gunfight, and we only had light gear. I was 30 pound, but I think Tans got off because Tans not came undone. Mine snapped the 30 pound leader, so I put a 50 pound leader on, but I threw away all the small fish because we were just about to leave. And just as we were about to leave, Tans got onto the bigger one because I was chucking all the guts out for the fish that we caught. And then, yeah, so then I chucked out one of the little ones that we hadn't chucked back yet, just as a livey, and something massive got on it and snap. Well, not snap, I think it bit it off, so it was probably a long tom or a bloody barracuda or something like that, so it wasn't going to be great eating, but still fun to catch. So anyway, we're going to have some food. Aren't we, young man? Going to have some food? Yeah, we're going to have some food, and then we're going to make the most of this glorious day because we're only here for one more day, and then we're going to head up to Coral Bay. So we'll just check out some of the other areas around here. I think Pelican Point, we'll check out Sandy Point, Sandy Cape, Sandy something.
Sandy Point.
Sandy Point. And yeah, and then tomorrow we'll move off. So let's go have a look around.
Sit and watch a sea eagle eat his lunch.
We've just coming up to Sandy Point, and we've just seen this sea eagle, this beautiful sea eagle, just sitting on top of one of the poles, just having his lunch. I've got Tans is trying to take some shots of it. The photos will be stunning. We'll try and get some video, but if the video doesn't work out, I'll pop some of the stills in. They're just beautiful birds. It's so good just to stop and appreciate nature just happening. This guy's just like, you're annoying me. I'm eating my lunch, man. Go away.
He's done.
Oh, he's just pooped.
That is funny.
He just lifted his bum up and did a big poop. Nom nom nom. Oh, tell you what, feels like we've been fishing all day. Last spot with the amazing, well, really good scuba diving. Heaps of fish everywhere. The water's a bit cloudy, but it could just be, I don't know, time of year or whatever. Got some good sized Moses perch, also got a barramundi cod. So we'll add those to our fish and chip fry up this evening. And so we've just come out here, check this out, right? So we saw this yesterday. Octopus. We saw an octopus out there, so we're gonna pop our rock shoes on, and we're gonna see if we can add some octopus to our dinner tonight. So yeah, and that'll be it. Wish us luck. Tonight's absolute seafood bonanza is a mix of freshly caught fish, which will be, that's all caught today, and some octopus.
And the sea life in the rock pools, even if
Is
you're not catching
unbelievable.
octopus, it's just amazing. They've got to be the best rock pools that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
That's just, oh, there was critters everywhere.
Yeah. So
I did get some
Turtle
fish.
Rock, Turtle Beach, it just big tick. It's got everything. Unbelievably gorgeous. So it's getting late, so it's dinner time. So that cruddy weather that I spoke about, it arrived with a vengeance. At about 2 o'clock this morning, we had this massive thunderstorm go through and like 20 or 30 mil of rain. So luckily we're on sand, so it didn't pool or anything like that. And the van kind of got it clean, and so did the car, which is good. I packed up everything last night, so as you can see, we're hooked up, pretty much ready to go. So yeah, this is it for, finally can say the name right, Warroora Station. I swear to God, I don't know why I get names wrong. But anyway, it's Warroora Station, not whatever I've been calling it this whole episode. So anyway, Warroora Station. The last 3 campgrounds. So you've got Stands, then you got Sandy Point, then you got 14 Mile. So we've been at 14 Mile. Stands, look, I think it's kind of an overflow for these two. So you'll probably get into Stands before you'll get into these two, because it's look, there's good snorkelling out the front. It's in the sanctuary zone, so you can launch your boat there, but you can't fish there or anything, or spear fishing or anything like that. Sandy Point is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I reckon that's probably the pick out of them, in my humble opinion. And then you got 14 Mile. 14 Mile's also gorgeous as well. With 14 Mile, you've got the two, I think I spoke about this before, you've got the two types of setups. So the higher numbers, so 30 plus campsites, they're all like this. Yeah, so they're all kind of spaced out up against the dunes, bit of shelter, and it's about a 100-metre walk to the beach. Whereas the lower numbers, they're actually right along the beach's edge. So the primo sites are probably 6 to 9. So if we come back here again next time, we'll try and nab those sites. They're literally like, they're on the beach or on the sand, and then there's like the access road, and then they've got their own little sort of beach access bit where you can leave your car, your boat, whatever, and then straight onto that turquoise water that you probably saw earlier on, which was pretty specky. So anyway, we're heading off to Coral Bay today. So that is the end of this episode for Warroora Station. Yeah, look, I hope you found it interesting. Hope you enjoyed it. Look, it feels like we could have spent a lot more time here. Yeah, we've been here almost 2 weeks, week and a half, I don't know. Yeah, about a week and a half. Anyway, been here for a little while. I reckon you could spend a lot more time here. So if we come back through here again, we'll make sure we book the sites that we've noted are the really good ones, and we'll probably stay here a bit longer. Snorkeling is next level here. It's just beautiful. If you get clear water, it's amazing. But then I'm probably going to keep on saying that because it just keeps on getting better as we go north. So for me, it's all new because I haven't done a lot of snorkeling before. But yeah, it's just like, you know, the best aquarium you've ever seen, just all around you, and fishing's pretty good. And yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching, and see ya at Coral Bay.